This is Back Talk by Successful Black Parenting Magazine, the most listened to podcast for parents by parents.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Back Talk, the talk show for parents. Now, I want you to share this out. Even if you're watching the replay, share it out to all of your followers and friends because we need them to know that we're here. We're here for you. Our hashtag for the show is Back Talk. So hashtag Back Talk. So you can tag us there and we will look for you on social media and we'll retweet your post and your comments. So make sure you know that is our hashtag for the show. If you are on Facebook, now is the time. Now is the time to alert your friends because we are live on Facebook. This platform is a Facebook collaborative. So there you go. So thank you everyone for joining us. Today we have Danielle Walters and her daughter is there somewhere too. Jalen, can Jalen peep in and say hi real quick? Just wave at us, Jalen. Can she hear me?
Jalen. She's coming. 1 second.
Okay. Now, they are the authors of the children's book, Pretty, From the Kink in My Curls to the Beat in My Step. And we're going to have them talk to you a little bit about, hey, Jalen, just wave at the people. How are you? Okay, good. Now, how old is Jalen?
Jalen is 8.
8. Okay. And Danielle, how are you doing? You're the mom.
I'm doing great.
How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, what I want you to do is tell me about the catalyst for this book. What was the one incident or the last incident, I should say, that made you say, that's it. I am over it. I'm going to do something about this. I am going to help my daughter. What was that moment?
So Jalen, this started a few years ago, actually, when I started to notice that she was becoming to be very insecure about herself. A lot of times she'll get the comment of, oh, you're a pretty black girl, you're a chocolate girl. And I didn't realize she was internalizing it until she said one day, Mommy, I'm not chocolate. And she licked her arm. At a young age, she knew chocolate as being something that she ate, not anything to reference her skin complexion. So that was the beginning where I started to notice it and I started to pay closer attention to it. And then after experiencing that with my own daughter, I realized that there are so many young girls who have insecurities due to their physical appearance. So that's why I decided to collaborate with my daughter to share her story and also help other girls.
All right. Let me just show everybody the book here. I'm going to see if I can get this up there. It's going to split us real close. But that is the cover of the book, and that's your daughter.
Yes, that's Jalen.
She is gorgeous, and I love how you made the cover of the book. Her T-shirt. That was really, really creative and cute, really cute. So tell us about the story of the book. What's going on?
So the story is in the viewpoint of Jalen and how she seen things. So along with people name calling her, she also watched a lot of television where her favorite characters didn't resemble her physical appearance. So in the first chapter of the book, Jalen is sitting in the living room. Her mom is reading a book, but Jalen is idolizing the young girls who are on the TV. She's comparing her skin, she's comparing her hair, her clothes, and she's starting to develop those feelings of being insecure. And that's when her mom started to realize that her daughter wasn't feeling too happy about herself. So as the book goes on, Jalen has an imaginary friend, and that friend is like her imaginary friend is her comfort zone. So her comfort zone is like her inner thoughts and also helping her through letting her know that you are pretty, be confident in yourself. Don't believe what those girls say about you. So that imaginary friend becomes that big push and that motivation for her. Along the story, she becomes friends with other characters, and they also have different insecurities. One girl is heavyset, so because of her weight, and she's getting picked on, she doesn't feel pretty, or she wished that she's smaller. So Jalen helps that character to believe in herself as well. So throughout the book, it's just to encourage all girls, no matter if you wear glasses, you have freckles, you have long hair, kinky hair, to love yourself from head to toe.
That is perfect. That is a wonderful story. I think that is great for all
Thank you.
girls and boys. Now,
Right.
has she ever been bullied in school?
So technically, it didn't happen in school. It was just like out in the community, in the neighborhood, never in school.
Can you tell us about what happened?
So you know how kids play around and they name call. So that was the biggest thing, just calling her Blackie, chocolate, and other words that were geared towards her skin complexion, which caused her to be unsure of herself.
Okay. Is this the same person that where she came home and asked if her skin was chocolate? Is that the same situation?
Yes, same
Oh,
situation. Yes.
all right. Now, how did you have to handle that? Besides the book, did you ever have to confront the child or the parent about it?
No, I didn't feel I should confront the parent or the child. Only because honestly, as a parent, I was more so ready to teach my child how to read. That's how young she was. So I never thought at that age I was going to have to teach my daughter to love herself. So my main concern was my child. I wanted her to know how to deal with these situations if ever it comes up again. So that was mostly my main goal, is to teach my daughter to love herself and to be proud of who she is.
No, that's fantastic. It's that whole saying that if you teach a person to fish, they'll never be hungry again, right?
Right,
So you're
right.
teaching your daughter basically to fish to how to handle a situation internally, so that way, if it happens again, which we know it always does, eventually in life, and you're into adults, that
Right.
she'll know how to handle it. So I think
Absolutely.
that's fantastic. Let's talk about bullying for just a
Mhm.
bit, because statistics show that 1 out of every 5 students are bullied. And
Yeah.
since you had to deal with that and you taught her how to manage that, I would, it'd be great if you can give some advice to our listeners about how they can also help their child, because not everybody's going to go out and write a book about it like you did.
Right.
That's pretty amazing that you said, let me pen this and get it out there to help other boys and girls. But what advice would you give to parents on how to handle bullying in school or elsewhere?
So I would give the advice for parents, not all the time everyone has the same approach to, have that conversation with their child, but they go after the child who may have hurt their child's feelings, or the parent or the school. I'm not saying that that's not a good way to go about it. You definitely want to let the teacher or the school become aware of the situation that is happening, but your main concern should be your child. You never know how a child is internalizing the thoughts of someone else. And so often we see that bullying is occurring on a regular basis, but now children are killing themselves. So we need to step in as parents to have those open conversations with our children, to ask them how is school going, and have a comfortable and safe environment for them to feel safe to share this information, and take that approach and notifying the school, but also working on your child as an individual to know that, don't believe what they say, and, kill them with kindness. Say, oh, thank you.
Uh-oh, you froze a bit. Hold on. Hopefully she'll come back. You just froze for a minute. I mean, we do have bad weather out here, so hopefully we can get her right back. Also, if you have any questions and you're listening, please post them, and we may put them up on your screen for her to answer. Hopefully we get Danielle back. Let me see if I can take her out and bring her back in 1 second. See what happens. I think we lost her for a hot second. Let's see what happens. No, where she's still frozen. All right, so what I'm going to do is take her out for a minute. We're going to keep talking. So we all have had situations of bullying in school. I was a teacher. I've seen it myself. Danielle, if you can hear me, you got to go back out and come back in, because it is not allowing you to broadcast. You are frozen. But as a teacher, I've seen it. As a teacher, I would not allow that in my classroom. And I think a lot of onus in this in school is the teachers and the administrators, because if you see it, you don't ignore it. You take it seriously. You find that gets to the bottom of it. And I know a lot of schools have anti-bullying programs now. I know in the school I worked at, on the main page of their website, you could report bullying anonymously. So these are some of the things that I know as an educator that was in place, but is definitely not uncommon for children to be bullied. I think every child has been bullied out there, and it's really a shame. So if you are in that situation, the first thing I would do as a parent, I don't know if I would be like Danielle and be able to write a book about it, really, but maybe I would, I don't know. But I would first go to the teacher. That's number one. The first step I would take would be to go to the teacher if it's in school and talk to her and see if she saw anything, managed anything. I would also, if my child has a telephone, like most of the teens I know have phones, to record it, record the bullying. And then I would take it, if they didn't do anything, I would escalate it to the principal of the school. I would go have a meeting, talk with the principal, and have the guidance counselor present so that they can hear it. If you feel like you are not getting any satisfaction, what you need to do is call up your school board, find out when the next school board meeting is, get yourself on the agenda, and speak about what's been happening to your child at that particular school. It's up to the school board to do something. Then it's public record. Reporters now know about it. Attorneys now know about it. So those are the things that I would do if I were getting bullied. Danielle, I see you're still there, but I'm not seeing that you're not frozen. So I'm going to need you to go out and come back in if you can hear me, because it's still showing you as frozen. So we're going to take you back out again. I just wanted to make sure, because on my end it looks a little weird. So let's see. According to statistics, girls are bullied more than boys. And I wonder why that is the case. Why is it that girls bully more than boys? You would think that it would be boys. That's what you see on television, right? Little Rascals back in the day, those old shows. It was always the boy, and they had a name like Bruce or Buster or something like that, right? So why is it that girls now bully? Your hair isn't just right. You don't fit in. Why is that the case? So if we have girls, we really need to have that conversation with them. Are you the bully? Ask them. If they're not getting bullied, if they are getting bullied, ask them, have you ever been a bully? And then you need to talk to your child about that, because we don't want our children to be bullies or to be bullied, right? So let's talk about that for a minute. Okay, I'm going to just go back a little bit, because of course, this is throwing me off a little bit that we lost our guest for a second. But I recently had a situation where one of my bullies, I should have went, from childhood, contacted me on Facebook, right? And the first thing I was like, oh, hell, what does he want? Why is he contacting me? He was the worst person to me. And I was about 7 years old in the whole world. I don't want to talk to this person. I don't even want to befriend him. So I was really reluctant, but I did. I ended up befriending him. And if he's listening, I'm sorry I'm telling this story like this, but I have to. So I remember one incident. I just got a brand new bike. My dad said, you can't let anybody ride your bike. Cool. Didn't. I had my little dog out there, which is a pretty big dog, standard poodle. So she's pretty big. She's bigger than me, really. And she was sitting on the stoop just watching me ride my bike up and down the street. And this bully who lived in the apartment below us came out and said, hey, let me have a ride. And we were the same age, but he was much bigger. And I said, no, you can't ride my bike. You can't do that. My dad said no. And he pushed me off the bike, took my bike, and rode down the street. I'm a tiny little kid, right? So my dog happened to be watching this whole thing, and she waited for him to come past the house, and she pounced on him, knocked him off the bike, and he ran back into the house. And he started yelling at my dog, attacked him. She never bit him or anything like that. But that was my bully. Right? So we have Danielle back. I'll bring you back in 1 second, Danielle. And then so that was my case. And then he contacted me. And when he contacted me, I told him, I said, well, yeah, I remember you used to bully me. He had no recollection of any bullying. And that was just one incident. That bullies often don't know that they are the bully. They don't know. So he apologized. So now we're friends on Facebook, but he apologized. So sometimes bullies don't know that they are the bully. So it's important that you also ask your child if they are the bully. Okay, Danielle, you're back. I'm not sure what's going on. I know we have some bad weather over here, so I'm glad to have you back. So I was just talking about, why is it that girls are bullied more than boys, and why you think that is the case?
I think that girls are bullied more than young men because of the ego, and also a bully bullies a person because they want to feel bigger or badder than the person that they're bullying. They feel like the individual is weaker. So in that sense, that young girls appear to be weaker than boys. So I believe that's the reason why girls tend to be bullied or picked on more than young boys.
But they are usually bullied by other girls most times, right? Because I was telling a story when a boy bullied me when you were gone. And he happened to ask me for my friendship on Facebook recently. And I was like, oh, hell no. I don't want this boy. He was to be the biggest bully to me. And he had no recollection of it. Like, he didn't even know that he did that to me. Like, they have no idea that they were bully. So, but I know a lot of times as girls, you don't have your hair quite right. You don't have the newest outfit or newest shoes or whatever. So, I was just wondering, what is that about girls that we are not so as supportive all the time of each other? And I think we need to learn that from a very young age, don't you think?
I believe so, yes. Since this book has been written, Jalen became, of course, an advocate for bullying. And when she sees that someone is picking on someone or bullying or mistreating them, she stands up for that person. So we also need a lot of children who will stand up to bullies, those bystanders, to say like, hey, that's not nice. You're hurting her feelings. And 9 times out of 10, once you have that person who intervenes, the bully will stop in that moment. So that is also important, to have that bystander to speak up and say, you're hurting their feelings or you're not being nice.
Okay. What would you say to any parent or a child listening to this podcast about bullying, especially to the victim of the bully?
So for my parents, what I would recommend is that you continue to get to know your child. Ask your child questions about school. Don't necessarily say, hey, is someone bullying you, or expect negative things when you ask them questions. Typically ask them how their day is going. And once you develop that positive relationship, it will just come out in conversation. But you also want to teach your child what to do if someone is bullying them, just as you would if you teach your child not to talk to strangers. So teach them to never believe what a bully says. A bully is only picking on you because, like what Jalen likes to say, is they're jealous of you. And to never believe them, of course, and always tell an adult. Always tell a trusting adult when you're being bullied. If they're name calling you, if they're hitting you, if they're pushing you, anything that they're doing to hurt your feelings or your physical being, tell an adult. That is very important.
I agree. Now, I should have reintroduced you when you came back, but this is Danielle Walters, and her daughter Jalen wrote a book called Pretty: From the Kink in My Curls to the Beat in My Step. And I just love it because it's about positivity and loving yourself. So loving the skin you're in. And I think we all need to support that and and make sure our children feel that, because you never know. You think you've given them such positive self-esteem, and can take one person that's bring them down so low, and you don't even know, because a lot of kids will keep it from you. So what can parents do if their child is the bully? We were talking about that a little bit when you were gone.
Okay, so if your child is the bully, of course you want to have that conversation with your child so they can understand that what they're doing or what they're saying is hurting someone's feelings. A lot of times when you put it in that aspect and they see that they're hurting someone, they'll stop. So just teach them how to be positive. Some children don't know how to establish that by talking about each other or being mean, that's how you hold or have a relationship with another. So teaching them what it means to be a friend or how it is to be, what it looks like to be nice, I think will be a step in the right direction if your child is the bully.
Right. I hope that parents who listen, and a lot of times we don't accept that our child could possibly even be the bully. So if you're that parent, like, oh, not my child, have the talk anyway. Our children aren't always the angels we see them as, and it may be something innocent, like they don't even know they're hurting someone, like you said. So have the talk. Okay, we have plenty of talks to do for children. This is one of them. Now, let me ask you, I love the book. Let me put it back up on the screen really quickly. I'm going to take these things down so I can. Did I put you down? My bad. Let's do this. I'm going to bring her back. All of us, I'm just having bad luck today. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Having bad luck today. I'm doing the wrong thing because things are blocking things. Sorry about that. Having bad luck today. I swear to God. I just want to try to. All right. So it just gave me, I wanted to put the cover back up, and there it is. So I can hit the wrong button too. All right. So there's the book. Tell me about the feedback that you've gotten for the book.
We have received a lot of positive feedback since writing the book. It has come from young girls and also women just thanking Jalen for sharing her story because they have similar stories as well. And it's funny you asked this question because Friday, Jalen and I delivered some books to an elementary school in our area. And a few girls from the classroom that we donated the books to wrote Jalen a letter, and they were so nice. The girls were expressing how they were so interested in reading the book and how they have also either experienced feeling down about their self-image or have been bullied. So it just motivated me and put Jalen in a sense of awe to believe that what she's doing and what she's done is helping so many other people.
I think that's fantastic. And that's her right there, guys. If you didn't get to see, that's Jalen and her mom looking so beautiful. And this is, we'll take this one now. This is the cover of the book. It's Jalen with her t-shirt that has the title of the book on it. And I'm glad you're getting a lot of positive feedback. Let me ask you, we're at the end of our broadcast, just about what is the one thing you want our parents to know? What's the one thing you want to get across to them today?
The one thing that I would like to get across to parents is it is very important to have open communication with your child, have a positive relationship so your child will know that it's okay to have open conversation to let you know if they are being picked on. And also teach your children to love themselves no matter what anyone says to them, to love themselves from head to toe.
I think that's perfect advice. I really do. I love it. So, guys, I want to thank you. First, I want to thank Danielle and Jalen for coming on our show because, people need to hear these types of messages. But before you go, let us know where we can get your book.
You can purchase the book on our website, which is dmariewalters.com.
Okay, I put the website up for people so that they can see that. And what about social media? Can we find you there?
Yes, you can find both Jalen and I on Facebook and Instagram. Either search Danielle Walters on Facebook or Instagram, and then Jalen Marie on Facebook and also Instagram.
Okay, great. Now we are at successfulblackparenting.com. That's our website. Now, if you want to share this episode with families and friends, you can do right here from Facebook. Or if you want to come back, you can use the bit.ly shortcut or short URL for Backtalk 13. 13 is the episode 13 that we're on. So you can use Backtalk 13 in the bit.ly shortening URL for that if you can't remember. But we're always right here from Facebook. You can share it. That way we will also put it up on our YouTube account. You can also find us on Instagram. We changed our Instagram handle to Black Parenting Magazine so that we can get more followers. People didn't know who we were or what we were. So we just recently did that, Black Parenting Magazine. And we're still on Twitter with almost 11,000, more than 11,000 followers now. We just started our social media like a year ago. So 11,000 followers. I want to thank all you guys for following us, and you're so engaged and active. Oh my God. So thank you so much. We're now building our Instagram up. So we need you to follow us over on Instagram too. That's really important for our advertisers. So I want to again thank everyone for joining in, the people who are watching. We have some people checking it out, and for the people that are watching it later. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Back Talk by Successful Black Parenting Magazine. We'll see you soon.